Here's how the Pelicans have officially stunned the NBA. New Orleans and Phoenix were separated by 28 games at the end of the regular season. Now it's 2-2, headed back to the Valley. Brandon Ingram's 119 points in his first 4 career playoff games are the 5th most by any player since the ABA merger in 1977. The undrafted Jose Grand Theft Alvarado sent CP3 to Alcatraz, locking up the point guard, holding him to his worst playoff performance ever. GTA and his fellow rookies Herb Jones and Trey Murphy combined to play 69 minutes in Game 4 as Coach Willie Green displayed significant trust in his team's young blood. You're about to see a breakdown of why the team from the Big Easy has been jaw-dropping in both the second half of the regular season and in the Western Conference quarterfinals against Phoenix. Right before that, just 10.1% of you watching right now are subscribed, so if you haven't already, please subscribe and turn on notifications. Also leave a thumbs up. It takes a few seconds and makes a massive difference in YouTube's algorithm. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at DFlowHoops, and I'll follow you back. Link is down below in the description for those 2 platforms. In the NBA playoffs, legitimate star players intensify their motivations, find a whole new level of focus, and therefore their performance from the regular season reaches a new level of dominance. After a rough showing in his postseason debut, B.I.'s resembled that type of top-notch player, as Ingram's now scored 30-plus points in 3 straight playoff games, which is the longest streak in Pelicans franchise history. Possessing a 7'3" wingspan, Ingram's got an explosive first step off the dribble to go along with a 36-inch vertical jump and a 9'1" standing reach. Combining that athleticism with Brandon's extremely rare ability for his size to come off a screen and calmly knock down elusive pull-up jumpers, and you start to see why he's being called the best player in this series, of course after Devin Booker went down. So far, the face of the Pelicans franchise in B.I. has posted 30 points, 7 rebound, and 5 assist averages on 63% true shooting in his first career playoff run. Phoenix's best player without D Book and Chris Paul just had one of the worst performances of his career in Game 4, posting just 4 points, shooting 25% from the field, making 0 3-point field goals and 0 free throws. All of those numbers are the worst or tied for the worst in his playoff career. Chris also had 0 points in the last 42 minutes of the game. On the other side, showing off to a packed Smoothie King Center what playoff hoops are all about, the rookie celebrity Jose Alvarado had the loudest 18-minute performance potentially in Pelicans franchise history, from picking up full court, not giving CP3 a smidge of airspace, which forced an 8-second violation, or pulling off his signature pickpocketing, where he waits on the sideline and sneaks up behind point guards taking the ball up. Alvarado was all over the place. To win in the playoffs, you need scrappy, quick twitch, and high IQ floor generals, and Grand Theft Alvarado provides just that for New Orleans. While Jose was stellar at shutting down Paul in the 4th quarter, we have to give the majority of the credit for stopping CP3 to the steal of 2021's NBA draft in Herbert Jones. Chris Paul did miss some open looks, but I thought the length of Herb Jones to fight over the top of screens, constantly get a hand up on his jumper, and how the rookie stayed mentally strong throughout all 48 minutes significantly bothered the point guard. Playoffs or not, Herb became the only player in the last 2 seasons to block 3 triples in a game. CJ Mccollum put it best on the impact of Herb Jones' postgame, saying he'll be first-team all-defense once they start watching Pelicans games. Including this past regular season, in a mix of games with the Portland Trail Blazers and New Orleans Pelicans, CJ's averaged at least 20 points each night in 7 different seasons. It's no happenstance that the Pels' enhancement into one of the 10 best ball clubs in the association on both ends of the floor directly coincides with the trade deadline acquisition of Christian James Mccullum. The now 30-year-old is currently playing the best ball of his career, as CJ averaged what would amount to a career-high 24.3 points per game, shooting 49.3% from the field and 39.4% from deep during 26 regular season outings for New Orleans. He also averaged 5.8 assists per night, and it's that pressure relief, whether it's facilitating or creating space for himself, then knocking down 15 to 25 footers, which is what's taken this offense to new heights. Making it look seamless in the Big Easy, it's evident that up to this point, David Griffin made the perfect decision to send Josh Hart, Thomas Satoransky, my fellow Torontonian and Shea's cousin in Nickeil Alexander-Walker, along with a few picks, in exchange for the services of a shot-creating phenom. McCullum's most noteworthy contribution has been opening up everything for the current face of the franchise in Brandon Ingram, as defensive game plans can't just trap BI anymore, like they could before another premier offense manufacturer like CJ arrived. It goes without saying that taking 2 more against the 64-win Suns is going to be damn challenging, regardless of Devin Booker being out for the rest of the series. Still, I thought it was necessary to give some respect to the Pelicans franchise for how they've assembled this multi-talented, versatile, and lengthy roster. Ingram, Valanciunas, Larry Nance Jr., Herb Jones, Jackson Hayes, Trey Murphy, and Najee Marshall gives New Orleans 7 rotation players with at least a 7-foot wingspan. David Griffin definitely won the trade for Jonas Valanciunas, as in Memphis, a healthy Steven Adams has been benched for most games and has so far scored 0 points in the postseason. Meanwhile, to even his best-of-7 series with the number 1 seed out west at 2 games apiece, the former center for my Raptors and Jonas Valanciunas controlled the paint, tallying 26 points and 15 boards on 9 of 15 shooting, outdueling his Suns counterpart DeAndre Ayton, who finished with 23 and 8. So far, the 9th-seeded Pelicans took the Lakers out of contention for the play-in. The Big Easy then eliminated the other LA team from the play-in, and have now unforeseeably taken 2 games from the first-seeded, expectedly untouchable Phoenix Suns. If this likable group ends up pulling off this number 8 versus number 1 seed upset, ESPN 30 for 30 will have no choice but to jump right on this. One thing's for sure, this New Orleans team deserves every bit of attention and respect, as the state of Louisiana's one NBA franchise has put the basketball world on notice. Will the Pelicans shock the world by advancing to the second round? Best answer down below in the comments. Goes next video shoutout. Top 5 commenters by June 21st receive free NBA merchandise this summer, so leave your take on today's question to compete in Community Speaks. Today's Speaks winner is Mordecai's Mopstick, who says, as a Celtics fan, I truly believe this is the most well-rounded team they've had since the first year of the Big Three in 2008. The similarities are a tough defensive identity anchored by Marcus Smart, who is like KG as the heart and soul of the team in DPOY. Tatum is like Paul Pierce as the number 1 option and primary scorer, always turning it up in the clutch and being solid on the defensive end as well. Rob Williams, the Time Lord, is the enforcer in the paint, like Perkins, but way more agile and can guard 1 through 5. Sorry, Perk, he's a lot better than you were. I could go on with the comparisons all night, but as far as the rest of the team, I could not be happier with our squad from top to bottom. This team plays Celtics basketball, defensively suffocating and unrelenting on offense. I haven't been this hyped about the playoffs in a long time. The passing of the torch from the old guard of the super team NBA, KD and Kyrie, to the new generation of homegrown ballers, the Jays, is so satisfying to me as a fan of the game. Spot on answer from Mordecai. Appreciate every take. I hope you have a great one. D-Flow signing off.